welcoming you back to the desk of Caddicarus. Join us as we partake into a new installment of Current Quickies.
Hello my duckies, and this time we'll be having a look at Overwatch on PS4. Cute. This game I found, and still do find, immensely enjoyable. And this video has been made up until the point of level 16 or 17. I mean, that's what you gotta consider. This game never really ends, so this video is my thoughts up until about that point, but I'm still playing it now. But as far as my thoughts up until this point go, well, here they are. So, what are they?
This game was one of the most refreshing experiences I've played for a very long time, and I was really happy that I got on the bandwagon with it. But do I think it's as perfect as everyone else in the community does? Well, at the expense of upsetting those people, I'm afraid that I don't. But it still doesn't mean the game isn't great, because for what it sets out to do, it nails a lot of it. And not only with its 60 FPS and seamless online play with no lag on PS4. For those uneducated, Overwatch is a new online Blizzard IP focusing on intense team-based multiplayer gunfights with a set objective for every match. Doesn't sound too spectacular explaining it so bluntly, but the game shines on a ton of things from the presentation and mechanics. At the time of this video, there are a massive 22 characters to players that literally all have strengths and weaknesses against every other character, and they can all benefit either yourself or your teammates. And I'm not just saying that for the sake of subtle differences. Every character here is literally amazing yet shit all at the same time, depending on how your team is structured and how the enemy team is structured. No one is overpowered and no one is weak, since every single character has their differences in either their health, speed, height or flight, firepower, special attacks, crafting bombs or turrets, healing abilities, and literally anything else that you can think of to create some of the most engaging and balanced multiplayer action I've ever seen. In case anybody was wondering, for my personal favorites to play as, I like McCree for his rapid high-fire damage attack and special sharpshooting, Soldier 76 for his all-roundedness on attack and healing, Tracer for her insane speed and confusion for other players, Winston for his shield and laser tech yet primal pounding gorilla side, and Hanzo for the powerful yet satisfying pullback on his bow. I really liked Widowmaker for being a damn sniper with special infrared, Roadhog for that bloody stunning grappling chain thing and insane self-healing on high health, Genji or Genji, I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce it, for his wall climbing and one-hit special kill sword, Junkrat for insane bombing and amazing special kamikaze war that got me more than one multi-kill, and Diva for her robot suit with many abilities and self-destruction along with coming out of the suit herself. But my absolute tops to use were Anna for instant healing or health draining for each side with a damn sniper rifle, Mercy for her damage buffs and health staff yet with low health herself but a powerful yet limited handgun, Reaper for his badassness going invisible, kill everything special attack and double shotguns, and motherfucking Bastion. My god, he's slow, he's clumsy, but special attack turret formation locks you in place, but damn he can deal out so much damage, is perfect for escort objectives when you turret yourself on the cargo, and he can heal himself incredibly quickly. I love this guy more than I can tell you, and I managed to get multiple plays of the game with him just with how many people I could slaughter with that damn turret and special tank move after it charges up. Does this all sound a little bit too complicated? Well, luckily it isn't, because each character more or less has the same command amount on similar button placements on the controller. Getting grips with the controls simple and efficient, meaning the main concern a player should ever have at any point is how to best win a match, and also best highlighting the immediate jump into gameplay nature it strives to keep its pace up with. And the nice touch of seeing who your team pick and the game telling you what you're lacking or have too much of in terms of character builds makes it way more likely that you'll experiment with everyone at some point. And the other nice touch of having the game randomly place your cursor on a different character at the start of every character selection makes it even clearer that the devs want you to experiment and encourage different methods to play. And the fact that you can change your character on the fly in the middle of a match is even fucking cooler and makes every match not a case of luck but a case of fast-paced, reaction-based, team-working insanity in which rules chase constantly, playstyles adapt, and it never gets boring. There are also a heap of visually contrasting stages to play through and all have different designs and approaches to consider with who you decide to pick. It's practically impossible to camp or score cheap hits because of this whole rock, paper, scissors design to the gameplay along with the team nature, meaning selfish play isn't rewarded at all anyway. But I think my favourite part of Overwatch is the character behind it. For a game with no single player and no story whatsoever, by god, hearing each character in a match cycle through memorable, well-acted, and often funny voice clips for any situation that you can activate at your own free will is wonderful. And all those animated shorts you can find on the internet makes every character seem so alive for how little development they have in any narrative context. However, I will say though that even though I love the intro animation with Winston and it always makes me chuckle, I've got to be honest, it gives me absolutely no drive to compete and instead just makes me ask questions about how little sense it makes. If these guys are all global heroes, then why are we endlessly killing each other? Why does Winston tell everyone to band together against these things yet they never become a concern? Why is this push so hard as an intro to the world when it's thrown out the window the second the game title comes on? It sounds kind of small, but come on, Team Fortress 2 gives you more reason to compete and the effort for cutscenes doesn't even come close to this. Backstory left out of the game or not, and personally to me it just seemed like lazy attempts of storytelling and it was very immersion breaking, especially when none of it makes sense compared to what you actually do in the game. And yes, I know you can find out more about the lore online, but I'm just judging this how the game gives you it and it makes no sense with the context of everything that's going on. But hey, the gorgeously bouncy and cartoony art style and impeccably stretchy animations not only differentiates itself from the brown and green multiplayer shooters before them and makes it truly stand out, but also adds more to the character and charm oozing from each crack this game has. I think Blizzard almost makes a statement with this game by including Soldier 76, a great character to play as for sure since he has the most balanced approach to any gameplay style of the characters with his health, attacks, rocket, sprinting, special move that never avoids a target and all of that shit, yet from his name, design and voice acting alone, we're way more interesting and better than most other military shooters, he doesn't really stand out at all compared to the broad range of attacks and diverse characters on display here, and I found that fascinating. In my games that I played, I didn't find many people at all wanting to play as him, even though he was such a balanced and potentially overpowered character, purely because of how well each other vastly varied character was executed made him all the more unappealing. And this just goes to show how companies may think that this is all multiplayer game as one, but it's not the case with this game. Add all of this to a constantly shifting and evolving day-to-day update system with new games and skins to play with for the Olympics, for example, and the new character Anna included into the package for absolutely nothing makes Overwatch pretty unique for no single player content at all. Now, I will say that despite all of this though, I did have a few problems with this game. Firstly, that on PS4 I found myself on multiple occasions thrown into matches with people dozens and dozens of levels above me, which got so unfair that I found myself leaving my respawn point only to die seconds later. I know that a lot of people will tell me that levels don't dictate how good you are at the game, and I guess that's true to an extent, but I also think it's complete bullshit because it does mean that these people have potential weeks and weeks worth of additional time and experience with the game. That's fact. And they can also go into competitive matches. That's also fact. And with the game priding itself on matching you up with similar levels all the time, then what the fuck gives with this? I never learned anything from these matches or got a chance to figure out what the fuck was going on because I found myself constantly dying with no enjoyment or point to me being there whatsoever. Also, for the fact that picking your own stage you want to play with other random players and picking your own preferred game to join wasn't considered apart from being with friends, and a few other flaws like the oftentimes terrible matchmaking on PS4 makes me wonder why the hell have I paid full retail price for this game? With games like Team Fortress 2 going around for absolutely free and providing more reason behind killing each other and another similar approach to the team-based objective gameplay, can someone please explain why Overwatch is the price it is and why does it have the fucking nerve to include not only a microtransaction system but one that is essentially gambling for shit you may or may not get? You can call me out for being picky here, but I'm sorry, there's nothing cool about this whatsoever. You don't even get to pick what skins you desperately want with your own money. You just have to spend and hope that you get something good out of it, and if not, play an ungodly amount of hours to unlock all of them in the game itself. And they were never a worthwhile reward enough in my opinion to get any excitement over getting them for free, let alone spend money on them on top of the full fucking retail price. I mean, I didn't think Splatoon was that amazing, but at least it gave you more actual content to be excited for, plus single player for a cheaper shelf price, not to mention more original gaming modes that Overwatch doesn't really bring to the table. So with all of this considered, some elements of this game just come across to me as anti-consumer, greedy, and a huge stain on an otherwise great multiplayer game with the odd flaw here or there. And even if you don't care about the loot boxes, the truth is lots of people do, and that's why they're there, to exploit the people who paid for the game already. I know the gameplay itself is not affected by them, but like I said, rewarding you with one gambling token for playing hours on end I didn't find engaging or exciting, and I never felt a huge drive to level up or keep going. And like I said, yes, the gameplay is absolutely great itself, but the modes aren't the most original I've ever seen, so I really don't understand why I paid full retail price for this. But to summarize, wow, in conclusion, Overwatch is a great game, but in my opinion held back by a few things. With everything I said, I wouldn't go as far as to say that these things make it one of the best games I've ever played, like some people have been saying, but hey, if you like what you see here, I can guarantee you'll love this game, because when it wants to be amazing, it really is amazing.
So, I'm gonna give this game an 8 out of fucking 10 on PS4 as it stands right now. Yeah, I do have a few issues with it overall, but I can definitely see why the community has exploded over it, and I highly recommend you check it out. But just, I would maybe say wait until the price is a bit lower. Yeah. Phew.